In this video, we're going to be analyzing the game between Leeds and Liverpool, and we're going to be talking about the points that I had talked about in my pre-match prediction, as well as the injury suffered to Harvey Elliott. Hey guys, welcome back to Avaricious Reds. If you haven't already liked this video or subscribed to my channel, please do so. I'd really appreciate it. So if you guys watched my pre-match prediction, you guys know that I talked about 3 things to look out for. The first being Trent's influence, the second being Sadio Mané and where he has been as of late, and the third is needing a great game from Mo Salah. So let's talk about Trent's influence, because not only was he amazing defensively, but he did really get involved on the offensive end of things. And so, as we saw in the first goal, he actually tracked out pretty wide, which was great as it allowed him to whip that ball across right to Mo Salah for that first goal. And it really happened on that 20-minute mark, as Liverpool, for the first 20 minutes, they had to absorb pressure. And you knew that was going to happen, because coming to Leeds for the first time, it was a wild atmosphere, as I had said previously. And so withstanding that pressure, being able to absorb it, and then counterattacking in that specific scenario was amazing. And I think Trent really did a good job, because the more he pushed up the field, the less Leeds could break out of their end of the field. And so it kind of created this flow of play, especially after the first goal, where Liverpool were quite dominant, were picking up loose balls, and to be honest, could have added a second or a third before halftime. So the second thing I want to talk about was the play of Sadio Mané. Now, I think fans have been really worried because last season he didn't play well at all, and this season he has been okay. He's got a goal against Burnley, but other than that, he hasn't looked outstanding by any means. And this game was sort of a mixed bag for Sadio. I thought, to be honest, I thought he played really well. You know, he was in a lot of attacking situations. He created a lot of room for himself. To be honest, Sadio had a game where he could have had 5 or 6 goals. And honestly, that's not an exaggeration. He actually got into a lot of good scoring chances, but just couldn't finish. And that is the other half of Sadio that we saw today, was that he just, for whatever reason, I hope it's not he's devoid of confidence, but he just, I guess, looked a bit, I don't know what the right word is in this scenario, but I think he just looked a bit more robotic, where Sadio, when he plays his game, it's very off the cuff, it's very free-flowing, and he's the kind of player who just, you know, there's a bit of magic in him, and he just kind of lets that happen. This time he looked like he was maybe thinking a bit more. Maybe that's the word. He was like thinking as to what he had to do, and obviously when you're in a position, you know, at the end of the field where you're about to score a goal, when you're thinking about things, it doesn't really go in, right? So, but the good thing was, at the end of the game, in injury time, he did get a goal for his hard work. And so overall, I thought Sadio actually played really well. I just thought his finishing was really poor. But luckily enough, in this game, it wasn't really something that came to bite us in the butt. The last thing we talked about in the pre-match prediction was Mo Salah. And he had a fantastic game. Obviously, as I said, he scored that first goal, which actually was his 100th Premier League goal, which is such a fantastic record for one to achieve, and Mo Salah has shown how amazing he really is. He had a strong influence on this game. He really connected well with Harvey Elliott and Trent Alexander-Arnold, and so I thought he was quite dominant. He was all over the field. He was great on the counter-attack for balls from Virgil or Trent. He really made the field expansive, which against a ball-playing Leeds team who likes to play an expansive game themselves actually really worked to our advantage. And so this was the kind of game for Mo Salah to thrive, and I thought he was nothing short of exceptional. Lastly, I wanted to talk about the injury to Harvey Elliott and how sad it was to see that. I mean, it's one thing for a player to get injured, but it's another thing for a boyhood Liverpool fan who is 18 years of age, and given the confidence from Klopp to start the first 3 games of the season, go down injured. And it was really a sad sight. You know, obviously I'm glad the TV cameras didn't show it, because looking back, see actually what happened, because it happened so fast. It was a really gruesome injury, and the reports are that it's a dislocation of the ankle, and thank God for the Liverpool medical staff for putting the ankle back in place. And then I think he's gonna have surgery today if I'm not mistaken. So best wishes to Harvey. Obviously it's a blow to Liverpool and what I think they were gonna try and do this year. Obviously I think from the first 3 games they were probably gonna play Elliott far more than I had originally thought, and so I think this will change things for Liverpool as to how they play. I would say that obviously this gives more of an opportunity for more of our fringe players, shall we say, like Keita and Ox, to step up, because I think the midfield that we can expect to see moving forward is probably going to be a Fabinho, Thiago, Henderson midfield, and so it will be really important for at least load management purposes for Keita and Ox to pull through. I did want to give a special mention to Thiago and Fabinho for an outstanding game on Sunday. Thiago was instrumental in the first goal as his pass to Joel Matip basically switched play, allowed Matip to drive forward and really take out a lot of players from Leeds' side, and then basically create that play where Trent could whip it across to Salah. And so if not for Thiago, that wouldn't have happened. And the way he played the ball during the game to distribute balls from one side to the other, to rest with having the ball was fantastic. He really dictated tempo, and to be honest, if we can see more of that from him, I think we're going to be laughing, to be honest, because I think the partnership between him and Fabinho is just special, shall I say. And that leads me to Fabinho, where his reading of the game is second to none. He floats around in that game, and just when Leeds thinks they're gonna play a ball that's gonna get them out of a tough Liverpool pressing situation, he just came in, swept it up, and basically created another attack for Liverpool. And that was something that that we saw right after that first Liverpool goal, where Leeds were really trying to, I guess, start playing a bit more football and trying to figure their stuff out, and Liverpool kept pressing. They kept pressing and they kept pressing. Fabinho was instrumental in that, because when Leeds wanted to get the ball out of their zone, he was there to basically create another counter-attacking situation. And so in that spell of play that that's next 10-15 minutes, Liverpool could have had 2 or 3 more goals, and Fabinho was such a big factor in doing that. And so it can't be understated how important he is to this team. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Please leave your comments down below as to what you thought of the game and how you saw it develop, and what did you think of my pre-match predictions? What did you think of Trent, Mo, Sadio? Were there any other players that you thought were amazing and had an outstanding game that maybe I didn't mention? Because there were a lot of players who played an outstanding game, and obviously I've only highlighted a few. So thanks so much. Please leave your comments, and we will see you guys next time.